water pollution? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Students, can you hear my students? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes? Right, right. So, yeah, I mean, frequently intimate me that you are audible because this is a net connect. I won't be knowing when this net has got. Right, thank you. ప్లీజ్ మీరు ఎస్ అంటుండండి మధ్యలో నాకు తెలుసు ఓకే ఇట్స్ అ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ మై సైడ్ సో pollutants present in the water or will cause water pollution pollutants say I will give you simple answer like yeah like human fecal material that is household waste has got mixed with the raw water which comes to us as okay but after treatment before treatment if the sewage water the raw water like any tank or reservoir, can we call that to be polluted? Yes, absolutely. It's the sewage which is mixing, and if that sewage comes from homes where the people are suffering with various diseases, right? When we the disease causing organisms like bacterial cells or virus out of the body, and how we send them out of our body, either urine or sweat or the fecal matter. Is getting contaminated in water, we can be surely say that this water has got polluted with the bacteria. So, if check what kind of bacteria has entered into water, right? So, how can we check? We need to check for the various disease causing organisms. How many list of disease causing organisms are there in the nature, Mike? If you compare with the bacteria, virus, and protozoans, right? Protozoans like paramecium causes malaria. Protozoans, uh, right, amoeba causes amoebiasis, or and, this, yeah, amoeba causes even the diarrhea present in the soil or even it enters into water. The virus, bacteria, the waterborne diseases are carried by the water, right? They are present. So, can we say that we all the viruses and bacteria and protozoans present in the water start doing that, it will be a lengthy process. It will take a lot of time, and moreover, it will consume a lot of money. Just a lot of money. So, how can we be sure that no contamination is there in the water? There is one simple logic, my dear. This is the best and important part of the water pollution. Biological contamination, not water pollution that is chemical, biological contamination. So all these viruses there into the water more from the human contamination, right? If they are there in the nature, they may get what we say dead cells. They become dead because there is no energy. But when they are present in the humans, they grow, and from the human chances are more. So how can we be sure that there is no contamination of water? So we don't have to check for all the bacteria, all the protozoans. We need to check for only one bacteria, and we can be sure. You can write on the paper, bond paper, that this water is contaminated, this water is not contaminated. What is that bacteria? Which we whose presence we can say that water is contaminated or not contaminated. This is not there in your subject, my dear. At all there in your subject, but out of my interest, I am telling this. So, if virus or a bacteria is present in a patient, it enters into the water. If there is no healthy person as defecated, will there be any virus in his feces or fecal matter? Say yes. Students, yes or no? Am I ఒక్కసారి yes అనండి అమ్మా.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are
Right,
audible.
right అమ్మా. Thank you. Is that common bacteria which excreted by, even if he is not a patient, even if he is a person, he can defecate a bacteria. What is that bacteria? That is E. coli, Escherichia coli, coliform bacteria అంటారు. So ఇది ప్రతి will contain this bacteria. It is there in part of our colon, stomach, right? So when the person is defecating, maybe is pathogen. Pathogen means disease-causing organism, but definitely E. coli bacteria. And we need to check water whether there is E. coli bacteria in the water or not. What does it mean? If E. coli is present, that means got contaminated with human fecal matter. We know the disease-causing organisms. Maybe they are present, may not be there present. From the human feces, right? If he is a healthy, pathogenic bacteria will be present. If he is a disease, pathogenic bacteria will be present. If he is a healthy person also, or a diseased person also, E. coli will be excreted surely in human body, right? So it is surely present in the 100% say that yes, feces will contain E. coli. My dear. Daily we grow the E. coli and waste colis will go out of the body. So if you check that E. coli is present, that it is definitely contaminated with the human feces, because that is the source of E. coli into the environment. The only coli into the environment is human feces. And now you can sir, once the feces has excreted, the in the nature and it might have contaminated, but still we feces only. After some time it may reside in the soil, but when we see the alive cells of E. coli in the water, that means it is contaminated with fresh feces, fecal material. So then we can say that along with E. coli, disease causing pathogens may also be there in the water. Water can be called as a polluted water, right? So is it equally a pollutant? No, it is. But why? Because E. coli doesn't cause any problem to the humans, right? It is naturally present in the human body. So even identify a common flora which is present, then also we can say that water has got polluted. So what does it? It means not only the or poisonous or pathogenic, even the non-poisonous or non-hazardous or non-pathogenic organism presence in the water can be called as a polluted, which should be of potable water. What is potability? The water which has got drinkable quality, potability. Drinking water, drinking quality another. Quality is not a suitable word. We should say drinkable quality. So when the water will be drinkable quality, when it has got requirements, when it stands all the BIS standards. What is BIS standards? People on other day. World Health Organization has given of water. What should be the standard of water for drinking purpose to be called water? That they have given a list of 36 parameters, including physical, chemical. Physical, like I discussed, temperature, odor, taste, pH, all these, and chemical, alkaline, acidity, sulfates, nitrates, chlorine, DO, arsenic. Then you can even say this, what we say, radioactive materials, oils, right? All these are there. There is a list, my dear, including 36 parameters. All that list have been given a minimum value and a maximum value. Units, desirable limit. What does desirable means? Desirable means Students, can you hear? Say yes. Everyone
Yes, sir.
unmute this. Yes.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. 69, roll number 72, right, from mechanical and engineering. So, what was the question? Desirable అంటే requirement, right? We desire it, we need it. The need are 36 parameters, all the 36 parameters, if they are there in the minimum range, that is called desirable range. It should not be less than that. I'll give you a simple example: hardness 300 to 600, pH 6.3, right? Chlorines less than 0.2 ppm. So I will take the simple example: pH 6.5 to 8.5, drinkable quality water. If it is less, 6.5 desirable limit. If it is less, we say water is acidic, we are not supposed to consume that water. So 6.5 is the desire. It should be mandatory, right? How much it can be? 7 also. It can be 7.5. It can be 8. It 0.3, which is called as acceptable limit. Why? 8.3 is acceptable. 8.5 is not acceptable. 4 is not acceptable because it causes alkaline. Right? Even that is not recommended for water, drinkable quality purpose. It should be between 8, 6.5 to 8.3. Why those this 6.5 to 8.3? There is a called as threshold limit value. How this word limit value is 6.5 to 8.3, right? So why we limit as a threshold limit value? Threshold means people will be given while we do the scientific like PhD, doctorate. People have given long back. People have such, my dear. They have given continuously for different pH quality water. Like they have given 5.5 pH, 6 pH, 6.5, and so on, and 8, 8.3, 8.5, 9, like that. So the pH water has been given for the people for a period of time. They were kept in observation, and health of the people will be periodically. And the scientific research found that the drunk water below 6.5 faced health problems, and even the people who drank water above 8.3 have problems. The people who drank the water having pH 6.5, there was no problem due to the pH of water, not other chemicals or physical or biological. Only the pH was taken, and they found that 6.5 to 8.3 is the best human consumption because it doesn't cause any health hazards. Then this limit is fixed as a threshold limit. So that is how the WHO gives that standard. 6.5 to 8.3 is the suitable, and that is called standard of water. And even that was accepted by the BIS standards, because we citizens of India, we need to respect the authorities or labs which do the same research, taking the data from WHO, and they even fixed it. The standard BIS 10,500 2012. In the 12, they freshly released the edition of water standards, water quality in our country, and health of the people. So they even say that 6.5 to 8.3. So in that way, we say threshold limit value. Like that, threshold limit value will be fixed for 36 parameters. Right? What should be the amount of pesticides? It should be zero, my dear. No pesticide should be there in the water. Our health. So desirable is zero. Acceptable is also zero. No flexibility in that. It should be absolutely zero. Similarly, biological cells should be zero flexibility. Whereas you take this chlorides, chlorides, 250 to 1000 ppm means should be there. If it is less than 250, that means that material, that element of that nature is not there, has to be. So we take chlorides in any other form along other than the water. Yes, we take chlorides in the form of sodium chloride. What is sodium chloride? Can anyone tell me what is
Uppu.
fluoride? This is a
All
common, simple one. Uppu, correct nana. Common and common salt కాబట్టి కదా. Absolutely very good. 47, 16 in mechanical, beautiful answer, right? So common salt. So it is not there in the water. We take it in the food also. So that the compensation will be done. So whether all other materials we take from the food, if it is good, taken well and good, should be there in the water. So that is how we have fixed the quality of. If that water contains all these 36 parameters, the range of threshold limit value that is desirable to acceptable, the water is called as potable water. Otherwise, it is called as polluted water. Either deficiency may be there or excess may be there. So when it is less than the desirable limit, we say is deficiency of that element in the water. It is not suitable. Element should be added. We need to take the supplements, right? Is there like sulfites, right? Sulfates are there. Fluorides are there in the Nalgonda water, right? Nalgonda people have got a problem of fluorosis. This amount of fluorides in the water. So what they will do, they will treat the Nalgonda technique or zeolite method or ion exchange method. There are various processes where people, the municipal authority people will treat, minimize the impact, amount of fluorides present in, they bring it to the desirable, the limit between the desirable and acceptable range, and then they will supply the water to those so that they people won't have any fluorosis problem, right? Nitrate, if they are more than 20 mg per liter, it may cause blue baby spits, newly born babies, and they turn into blue and die. Also be controlled by checking the nitrates concentration as the 20 ppm. So in that way, all these materials are present in the range. What we call that? We call it as a, if they are present less than deficiencies of that element, minerals are not there in the water. They are more, we call that they are causing pollution, chloride, fluoride and fluoride polluted water and top. Right. Okay. If they are present in the range, what we call that? This is a very simple and beautiful answer, my dear. You should be responding. Less unte deficiency, more unte pollution. Then what we are in the limit? Simple. This is not there. You don't have to discuss all these things. But still, ఎందుకు అంటే water. What is water? Why we need to discuss? Because of these reasons, I'm taking this. Right. This is absolutely important. If it is that this is not important, sir, I will stop it and I will start the second. Formally, just discussing the topics. What are this? But this is also a part which can enhance our knowledge. So, students, can anybody say what is that water? That what we say? These elements are rich. Okay, I will say these materials are, if they are present in the range, what we call that water. And a beautiful hint also. Simple. If these minerals are range, what we call that water. Students, answer చేస్తలేరా లేకపోతే question? Did my question reach you or you are,
sir,
interested to
what
answer?
break
I
అయింది
don't.
sir? మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి question.
What? Okay. Say, I will put the question once again. 36 parameters, right? So if these 36 parameters, including chemical and biological, if they are present in less quantity, right, like chlorides 250 to 5,000, in the less quantity, we say that elements are not there in the water, of that elements and we need to add them. If they're present, like simple or practical example is fluoride or more in Nalgonda water. So we say that water is a polluted fluorides, right? So if these 36 parameters, physical, chemical, biological, if they are present more than the meter,
Hard
what we
water.
call that polluted water. No, the water. Hard again. Water and it is not suitable for drinking purpose. So we say it is polluted, right? Not potable. Call if these elements, physical, chemical, biological parameters in the range of desirable to acceptable. ఏమంటామా ఎఫిషియన్సీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటే పొల్యూటెడ్స్ లిమిట్ లో ఉంటే ఏమంటాం వాటర్ ని ఓకే వాట్ ఈస్ మినరల్ వాటర్ ట్యాప్ వాటర్ డిఫరెన్స్ మనకు మున్సిపల్ సప్లై ట్యాప్ లో వస్తాయి ఆ వాటర్ ని ట్యాప్ వాటర్ అంటాము మినరల్ వాటర్ అంటే వాట్ వి బై ఇన్ ద మార్కెట్ ఇన్ దట్ వాటర్
Purified, like almost it's purified water, sir.
right which one is purified
Mineral.
which one mineral by
Mineral
కొనే
water.
water purified tap right tap water if you say that the government will sue me and you here if you say that why because they employ a lot of money in that and they treat the water absolutely potable water the water will be pumped to us it is not bad so what is mineral water what is mineral water
Water with added
mineral water
minerals.
అందులో మినరల్స్ ఉంటాయి రైట్ వాటర్ విత్ added or present right when we need to add a mineral when there is a deficiency of mineral we need to add it if the mineral is excess what we will do we will consume it as it is no it becomes polluted why because that or minerals in the water can also cause problem like chloride cause chlorosis right and if chlorides are present more than or 1000 mg per liter even that causes problems in the urine right so if they are present more we call if they are present less we say deficiency and we will start adding that what is if they are present in the range we call that as minerals that is what mineral water ante tap water kani whether it is tap water or mineral if it is in the potable range that is if it is in the range of BIS standards desirable to action it is called as a potable once we call the water to be potable it becomes a mineral water only whether it is tap water or right whether it is tap water or the water what we buy in the market packaged drinking water both mineral water only right so that is water mineral water today that is what we have to discuss the effects of water pollution we discussed it in the last class right so what is the effects just we will have a brush up of that water if it is polluted if it is not potable not drinkable quality then what will be the effect of that water if we call that water to be polluted water and what will be the effect of that water it causes diseases in the humans right what kind of diseases physical parameters never cause any disease because they are the turbidity water has got kidneys which can filter that turbidity but in the it may even affect the functioning of kidney because of excess burden turbidity if it is present then taste okay it is not the quality of scientific health as aesthetic it is aesthetic and ఏంటమ్మా aesthetic quality means we doesn't feel like drinking water any bad odor or even good odor we want water yes right then it is called drinkable quality if it is sweet can we say that water is suitable no If it is salty, we can't say suitable. It should be tasteless. Physical parameter. Chemical, all the chemicals should be in the desired limit. Right. In more quantity, it causes abnormalities in the humans, like it causes blue baby syndrome or acidity or alcohol, right? Or even the rickettsia, the bones will get a deformation of the bones because of excess hard water drinking. That is, calcium will get deposited in the bones and they deform the bones, or they become bones will become stronger, more stronger, and too much of calcium in our body adversely. That is, too stronger, and the bones elasticity, and they, if with a small concussion or a hit on the bone, if somebody falls, the bones will easily break down because of excess hard water or excess calcium. So excess amount of calcium is also not recommended, right? So that is what causes water pollution. So health hazards will be there. Students, can you hear me? Say yes once.
Yes.
Students, right? So that is what the chemicals present in quantity making the water polluted can also cause health. Similarly, biological, physical, chemical we discussed. Biological, if biological cells are there in the water, does it cause pollution? Why? The biological cells will contaminate the disease if we drink any biological materials like virus, bacteria, or fungus or protozoans, right? So they also affect the health. So we call that as water pollution. And what effects they cause? They cause waterborne, right? The diseases which are carried by the water, the diseases which can be, I mean, the organism may be water. It may be organism transported in the water or grown in. Transported ante cholera, typhoid. Virus if it is present in the water, the bacteria if it is present in the water, polio virus. Okay, so these bacteria or viruses, which if they are present in the water, if we water, then the disease will be caused to the person who is consuming that containing the virus or a bacteria or protozoans, right? So we say carried. The virus is present in the water, it is carried by the water. What is disease grown in the water? The mosquitoes, right? Mosquitoes lay their eggs in the water and they grow, and then they will bite the person with malaria, and then they bite the other person who is healthy. Malarial infection can be transmitted from a diseased person to a healthy person. It is not the water which is transferring the disease, it is the transferring the disease. Then how water is related? The water is related. The causative mosquito, right? Organism is paramecium protozoa, but mosquito grows in the water. Water is more, mosquitoes grow more, and they transfer the disease. If again stagnant water, no mosquitoes will be there, no disease will be transmitted. Right. So that is why they are allowed to grow the mosquitoes. So they are growing the, I mean, the causative organisms which are growing in the water. So that is one thing. That is how we say water pollution. Next one is, yeah. Next one, technology. Treatment technology. What is water treatment? Why do we need to treat the water? Water is polluted. We need to treat the water. Right. There are two things, my dear. We need to treat the polluted, which is called as a wastewater. And what water we regularly? We drink the water which comes from sources like ఇండస్ట్రియల్ వేస్ట్ నుంచి సీవేజ్ నుంచి వచ్చే వాటర్ చేసి డ్రింక్ చేస్తాం. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? జస్ట్ టెల్ మీ ఎస్ ఆర్ నో. Students, do we drink the water which comes from industries, industrial waste water? No,
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 sir.
my dear, right? We do, right? Absolutely. What kind of water we drink? The raw water which comes into the rivers and right? How does that raw water, like Gandipet Cheru, if you take or Miralam tank or Manjira water tank, right? From where the water comes into that lakes or reservoirs? Is it the industrial waste water which is thrown there or a sewage water thrown there? No, right? So from where? What is the source? That is the rainwater source, right? Every annual the rainwater comes and that is added. So what will be the quality of water which is added directly by the rain tanks? Is it absolutely clean water we can directly drink? In the olden days, people used to drink taking from the river directly. Can we do the same? Yes or no? You can say yes or and drink. Why? Is it
No,
clean?
sir.
No, absolutely not. Right. ఎందుకు ఎందుకు అంటే what how does that water gets collected in that tank, whether it is Miralam or whatever tank? How does it gets collected? Krishna River. From where the water enters there, direct water which is falling in the tank or in the river will get collected in that river or no? No. Why? It is not the only water which is in the lake gets collected. It is the water which is falling in that area, a total area, surrounding area lo padina rainwater, the rainwater which falls in the surrounding area, runoff ante the water which flows on the roads, mass, right? What we call that water? It is called as storm water. Students, are you there with me? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Right. That water, right? Raw water also may contain pollutants or may not be. How we can define that? The quality of catchment. What is catchment area? Right. How does lake or a river? It fills by the water fills surrounding area and flushes into that river or a lake. ground, flowing on the ground. What we call that water which flushes into the river, flows on the top of the ground or roads, we call that as a river or storm water. So, what will be the quality of water in a river? How we can define that? The quality will be defined as the quality of the land or soil in that area. Catchment area means from where the water falls and runoffs into a river. So, if that land, the catchment land or pollutants in the soil, all that pollutants will mix with water and they can enter into that land, lake or a pond. But generally, that water doesn't contain much higher pollutants, but they contain impurities in the water, like soil particles or dust particles or a paper or slippers or leaf litter, that is dead leaf, dead branches, or dead animal material or carcasses, all that which is present in the land, whatever waste materials, instead of throwing in the dustbin on the roads and land, they get accumulated along with the rain and then they enter into the lakes and ponds. So that is the impurities which are present in the water. So that water can by a simple technique called as water treatment technique. Simple technique which as called as water treatment technique. There are two techniques present in the water treatment technology. It is categorized into primary treatment and secondary treatment of water. Water can be treated by two methods. One is primary treatment and another treatment. Primary treatment means removal of suspenders. Here remember two things. There are two these pollutants present in the water. One is suspended material, one is dissolved materials. What are suspended materials? Suspended materials means the materials which after entering into the water they doesn't their identity. They retain their identity as it is. Simple example is you add any dust particle like some soil. Soil dissolves in the water? Yes or no? Soil dissolves in the water? No. Right. So soil is the water and it adds color to the water. We say it is muddy water. Right. Why the muddy water means that color turbidity is because of the turbidity is because of the presence of suspended particles like soil particles. It is not color. It is that water, all the suspended brown materials, the soil particles separated in the filtrate, water becomes clean. But if you colored water like you take a Pepsi or Coke, which is colored water. If you filter the colored water like Thumbs Up and Coke, will you get the clean white colorless water? No, it is present as a brown only. Why? Because it is color which is in the water. Whereas if you put some chalk powder in the water, floor, what we eat, wheat flour in the water, right? Water appears right. We say it is white in color, but it is because of the presence of particles in the water. Water looks right. If you filter that wheat flour water, the wheat flour can be clear water can be seen. So that is turbidity. Whereas milk, will you get the clear water out of the milk? If you pour milk and filter it, we can clear water. No, we can't get because the milk is a color which is given to the water, right? So between suspended materials and colored material, turbidity and color. And suspended materials will impart turbidity to the water. So the impurities may be present in the form of suspended the particles which are there, which is called as turbidity, right? Colloidal particles are suspended. Then the second type of impurities present in the water are dissolved impurities. Dissolved, and if you add salt or a sugar into the water, right? If you add, what will happen to the salt? Will it retain as salt crystals or crystals? No, it gets disappeared. So it has lost its identity. Crystals have lost its identity. They dissolved it in the water. Similarly, you take a crystals of sugar, right? They get dissolved in the water and you don't find any sugar crystals, and the water appears lightly colored or say right. The sugar syrup will be clear. So it is called as a solution or salt solution. That means the solute has got the water. So pollutants may also be there in the form of which we can't see by our eyes. Suspended we can see by our eyes and we can filter it, but dissolved we can't see. More problem of water pollution occurs because of dissolved pollution, not because of suspended pollutants. So how can we remove the dissolved in the water? By the second treatment technology called as segment, right? Secondary treatment. So there are two treatments. One is primary treatment and another one is secondary treatment. In the next explain these primary and secondary treatment techniques, right? So now, uh, students, are you say yes once?
Yes, sir.
Students say yes once.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Post your attendance in the chat box. All of you. It's already passed. So post your attendance in the chat box. I will take from there and then I will close the session.